The console market has been dominated by the first-person shooter for quite some time now. For some this is a problem, encouraging both developers and publishers to create a shooter in order to take the world by storm. CCP Games may seem to have fallen for the enticing offer, but upon inspection this couldn't be further from the truth. CCP Games are most famous for their work on EVE Online. The gameplay is often criticised for being abrasive and hard due to its large learning curve. This often pushes away new players. A mind-blowing achievement in EVE is the fact that the entire player base is set in one universe. This gives all 400,000 players the chance to interact with each other without having to transfer their character across different servers. The community in EVE is one of the most interesting aspects of the game, for me at least. The game has its own in-game currency called ISK. It is used to buy and sell items, upgrade ships, and bargain with other players. The currency system is so well designed that there is a complex dynamic economy underneath the surface of the game. In 2007, CCP Games even went far enough to employ a real-life economist to manage the entire universe. This is just one phenomenon that has occurred in EVE Online. The second is the politics. Alliances have been struck up between players, and these alliances have managed to create territories in different sections of the game's map, all without help from the developers. There's no doubt in my mind that there isn't some fight going on across borders to try and take each other's territory right now. This is one of the highlights of the game's gameplay after all. But in the past, there have been full-blown wars. These wars are often well documented and have massive consequences on the game as a whole. The Great Northern War is just one example. Just Google it. If this all seems too scary and complicated, don't worry, most people do. EVE Online is tailored for a very niche player base, and this is where DUS 514 comes in. Targeting a new audience with the most popular genre out there, CCP Games are about to become much more famous. DUS 514 is the first free-to-play first-person shooter exclusive to PlayStation 3, and it's also an MMO. The game is not only set in the same universe as EVE Online, but the players will be able to interact across game in the way that we've never seen before. In DUS 514, you will play as a Hive Marine. You will be placed in your own little quarters in one of the stations in EVE Online. From here you'll be able to change your battle armor, customize weapons, and buy whatever takes your eye. Skills can be looked at and inside, and in the current build of the game, the developers believe that it will take you 7 years to unlock all of the skills, which is handy as they already have a 10-year plan put in place for the game, meaning that we are likely to see DUS 514 transfer over to PlayStation Orbis when that comes out. Not only will these contracts be the main portal into the gameplay section of the game, but they will act like a virtual job. Most contracts will be computer generated and will offer source funds of ISK upon completion. Other contracts will be created by players that want specific objectives to be run. These contracts will often yield you more money. Get good at certain map or certain situations, and the community is sure to notice. Soon, you will be a sought after player, and you may end up rolling in that ISK. ISK is the same currency that is used in EVE, and will be earned for in-game actions. There's also a secondary currency called Urim, which is exclusive to DUS 514. In order to get Urim, real-life money will have to be spent within the PlayStation Store. Urim will be used to buy players what they want, when they want. But to keep things fair, bought in-game items will never give you an advantage over other players. This ensures the play-to-win style of gameplay is kept over the pay-to-win. Suits work very similar to loadouts. In the beginning, players will be given the choice of a few different presets, Heavy, Scouts, and Assault being among them. Players will be allowed to customize their own suits, which will affect their appearance of their armor, how the player moves, the weapons they have, among other things. These kits can be changed in-game with the use of certain installations. Once on the ground, the player's ultimate goal is to complete the objective in order to make ends meet. There will be many different ways for them to go about this. In one game mode, attackers are asked to take control of the command center by allowing their mobile command center to dock with the enemy's outpost. Meanwhile, the enemy will be doing all they can to stop you. either by destroying your mobile command center or depleting your side's clone supply. The clones nearly act in the same way as tokens work in Battlefield, meaning the attackers will have a limited number of respawns. One of the main ways to play the game will be through the use of vehicles. Unlike many modern shooters, all vehicles on the map have been bought with money, meaning both Dust and EVE players will be able to buy them on the fly. They can then be dropped off anywhere on the map by a dropship. The technical prowess of what CCP games do with their product is highly acclaimed. A small feature they added to Dust 5.4 is the map. It renders the entire battlefield in real-time 3D, which allows you to see a lot more than a typical map. They also record the matches you play, and allow you to view that back. But by far the most technically pleasing aspect of all of this is the real-time interaction between both games. If you're stuck in a tight spot, lay down a marker in Dust. This marker can then be seen from outer space by EVE players, who can then send down an orbital bombardment, all in real time. At the same time, targets can attack the attacking spaceship across game and call for reinforcements from other players in the EVE universe. Dust 5.14 promised to be a real game changer in many ways, taking an MMO to consoles, creating the closest to a true cross-platform game that we've seen so far, and testing a new free-to-play model on the console market. I've been JCork93, out.